What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and over the past couple of days, I've been talking a lot about this mystery illness over in China. Now, it's important to note that the Chinese government is downplaying this illness. The mainstream media, they're kind of fence-sitting right now, but they're leaning more towards downplaying this illness, and I even see people downplaying this situation in my comment section. But let me tell you this. I would not sit here and waste my time making so many videos about this if I did not think that this was something that we should all take seriously. And for the people in the back, it's not about the illness per se. It's about how the world governments choose to respond to this illness. It could be the weakest common cold you've ever had. That doesn't matter. What matters is if your governor, if your president, if your prime minister, if the leaders of your area or your country or your state, what matters is what they choose to do when it comes to this situation. And I am telling you right now, I'm looking at what's happening in China and the images that are coming out of China, the way things are happening over there right now, it is a carbon copy of what we saw just a few years ago. If you see what's happening in China right now, you would think that it's old clips from a few years ago, but it's not. It's like deja vu. It's like waking up in a bad dream. It's like one of those Christmas movies or just movies in general where you wake up and it's the same day over and over and over again. As I'm watching these images come out of China, as I'm watching the situation play out in China, it just looks exactly the same. Now, I'm pretty close with the Vietnamese community where I live. And I've talked to them about what's going on in China, and they told me that it's already spread to Vietnam. They said that this little mystery illness has been floating around Vietnam for over a month now, and in certain areas, they're talking about it a lot already. Now, of course, that's he said, she said. I'm not there. I don't know how true that is, but what I do know is that I woke up this morning to the news that this illness has spread to the Netherlands. So I would assume it probably has reached Vietnam. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this illness, this mystery illness that we're not supposed to talk about or worry about, now supposedly it's in the Netherlands and kids are getting sick all over the place there. And I would imagine that it's already spreading throughout Europe. It's probably already spreading throughout America. Who knows? But let's go ahead and watch this clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
An unexplained surge in pneumonia among children has appeared in the Netherlands after China acknowledged a big jump in its cases. Tim Lester has this report.
Many disease specialists have been reassuring on China's new outbreak of pneumonia in children. Now, though, the outbreak is not confined to China. As parts of northern China struggled to cope with rising respiratory illness last week, disease experts elsewhere began to worry. A global infectious diseases watchdog cast it as an outbreak of pneumonia. It reported hospitals overwhelmed with sick children, classes on the verge of suspension, and a suspicion authorities were covering up the epidemic. Today, Chinese authorities again sought to calm concerns. It is safe to travel and do business in China, and there is no need to worry, China's foreign ministry spokesperson says. And many disease experts see the increase as predictable after China imposed some of the world's toughest restrictions to prevent COVID spread across 3 years, then lifted those restrictions last December. Yet similar to the rise in China, the Netherlands has now reported a marked jump in pneumonia cases in children aged 5 to 14. The number of cases in the age group almost doubled last year's reported cases. For now, the world is watching and wary of any repeat of the early days of the pandemic.
It's almost funny watching all of this play out because I'm sitting here like, are y'all really going to try this again? These are the exact same plays out of the exact same playbook that you just played a few years ago. Are you really doing this again already? No grace period? Usually there's like 100 years between, events like this. But already, just a few years later, I am watching the same thing start to play out. And listen, the media can downplay it and everyone can downplay it all they want. They did the exact same thing last time. And then, at a drop of a dime, they flip the script and they start acting like this is the most serious thing in the world. What's happening right now is everyone's downplaying it. No one wants to talk about it as it spreads throughout the world. Once it spreads throughout the world, then they're going to bring in the conversations of what should be done. It's already too late to stop the spread. What do we need? We need 3,000 days to stop the spread this time. Do we need 6 years to stop the spread? And it's funny because it's happening around the same time period that it happened last time. From what they say in China, this has already been spreading around since at least May. They didn't report it to the world until November. So if it's been spreading around since May, it was probably spreading around before that. And this illness originated just a couple of 100 miles away from the last one, okay? So who knows how long this has been spreading around already. But folks, it's like the same thing all over again. I cannot stress that enough. And I'm hoping that we don't have to deal with anything. I'm not here to tell you that we're going to go through the exact same thing that we did last time, but there is a possibility. And the timeline of when these illnesses are popping up, it's really weird. They always pop up like a year before the U.S. presidential election. Why is that? Last time this happened too. Around October-ish, it's when it popped up. And here we have again. It's the exact same timeline. They just waited 4 years. And I can guarantee you that some politicians are going to try to use this to their advantage. Who knows how things are going to play out. But as of right now, you guys, if you watched my videos, you just saw a couple of days ago how they acted like, oh, this is nothing to worry about. And now, 2 days later, they're like, oh, it's in the Netherlands. Okay. So, whatever, guys. All I'm saying is, if I were you, I would keep a close eye on it. And I would go ahead and start saving money now. Go ahead and start saving money now. Because you don't want to be caught off guard if they choose to treat this super seriously and shut down the world again. Let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you're feeling generous, you can support the channel by donating via Cash App. I will have my Cash App in the pinned comment of this video. Or you can send a super thanks. Or you can support the channel for free by sharing this video on social media, sharing this video with your friends, hitting that thumbs up, subscribing if you haven't already, ringing that notification bell, and as always, I'll talk to you all in the next one.